Hi, welcome back to This Lovely Stitch. On this channel, we create what we love and explore the creative process. In today's video, I am doing the much awaited part 2 of my yarn stash tour. As you can tell from my background, I'm back in school, back in college. The spring semester has started. So I'm going to show the yarns that I have here at college. In getting all this yarn together, I realized I have a lot more yarn than I thought of. So I am excited to do a ton of stash busting projects, so much needed. But here are all the yarns I have. So this is I have them in a bunch of different tote bags and whatever, so I'm probably gonna have a bunch of cuts getting up and down. But first I have this black yarn. This is Lion Brand Pound of Love. Yeah, this is like my favorite yarn type. They have a bunch of different colors, so I have a bunch of different Lion Brand balls, but this is the first one. Then I have this leftover boucle yarn from a scarf that I was working on. I actually filmed a video about that, so you can go watch that, about me finishing my 2025 lips. But, oh my gosh. Okay, this is about how much I have left, and I just had it in this little bag, so I'm gonna take it out since I'm not actually using it anymore. So this boucle yarn. Then I have this huge ball of super bulky, I think this is probably like a 7 weight of this fluffy black yarn, and I thrifted this. I'm making a project today actually using this yarn, so happy to finally use that, but it is so soft. So just winding it up, as you can see there's like a whole tangled mess here. But yes, make sure to comment down below what yarns you like, what yarns you're waiting to use in your stash. I have lots of different pattern ideas, like self-drafted patterns that I'd like to write using up some of my old yarn. I also definitely want to make the Loopy Studios cardigan. I'll put a picture in for that, but that's like a free pattern that uses a bunch of scrap yarns. So I think making some stuff like that will help me use up my yarns. I'm also considering making like some granny square pants. I think that would be really cute. So yeah, okay, I almost have all this yarn untangled. Let's see. But yeah, I also want to work on yarn organization in the new year. My yarn, as you can tell, is not very organized. At home, I have it color coded. I have it in different bags and boxes. It's very organized. And maybe that's just because I have less yarn at home, so it's easier to organize. But yeah, that's one thing I want to work on in 2026. Okay, next yarn color. I have this dark kind of chestnutty brown. I also have this yarn at home. I just have less here at college. So this chestnutty brown, and this is, I'm trying to think, I think this is a Loops and Threads yarn, but don't quote me on that. This is some more brown yarn that I thrifted. I have lots of browns, but I do have some colors. We're gonna get to that eventually. Let's see, I don't think I have any more. Oh wait, I have 2 more balls in this bag. This kind of champagne-y color. And then I also have this ombre, or I don't know what you call it, marled brownish white. So that's the first bag of yarn. I'm going to go get the next bag from the floor. Okay, bag number 2. This is just pink ball of yarn. This is Loops and Threads. I'm actually also using that yarn this week. We have this purple yarn, a darker purple, I would say. Then we have this light purple. This is, trying to think. Ooh. I think this is Karen Simply Soft. Or it's either Karen Simply Soft or the Loops and Threads version of Karen Simply Soft. And I forgot to say, this is also Loops and Threads. This is Lion Brand Pound of Love. This is the last I have of it, so you can see that the Lion Brand Pound of Love goes really far. So there's that. What else do I have? I have a lot of chunky yarns, and I am working currently on a cardigan pattern, so that's going to actually use up pretty much all of my chunky yarn. So I have this is Lion Brand Wool Ease. Most of this is Lion Brand Wool Ease. This is actually Loops and Threads Charisma. This that's on needles right now is Loops and Thread Charisma. This is the beginning of that cardigan. Let's see, more of that purple yarn. More Loops and Threads Charisma. This yarn actually my friend gave me for Christmas. This is Baby Bee Adorable Super Bulky, and this is from Hobby Lobby, so very pretty colors. This is just some random yarn I had from my stash, so I'm not actually sure what kind it is. Then we have Mainstays, just their 100% acrylic yarn in black. This is Lion Brand Pound of Love, both of these white scraps. Just some random brown yarn, don't know where it's from. These are both Karen 1 pound. I'm not really sure what the color is. I think it's royal blue though. This is some more Lion Brand Charisma. This is, let's see. This is Lion Brand Hometown. And then we have Wool Ease Thick and Quick, another one. So I have lots of bulky weight yarn that cardigan's gonna be super cool when it's done. This is Lion Brand, or not Lion Brand actually. This is Loops and Threads. This is attached to another one, but this is more Charisma, more brown yarn that I'm not really sure where it's from. And then I have Loops and Threads Impeccable. Wait. It just says Impeccable, but it's like a different color. I haven't actually seen this one in a while. In stores, I should say. And then I have these 3 spools. This was gifted to me by someone from my college's like knitting and crochet club. And they're just spools of ribbon. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to make with it, but I have an idea to maybe make like a purse or like a crossbody bag. So I'm not 100% sure. Comment down below what you think I should make with it, because I do have a lot. I'm not sure exactly the yardage for it because like there's no writing on the spools, but it feels like a lot. So don't know what I'm going to make with this, but definitely want to make it, like make something with it, make something unique or different. So yeah, that is all of this bag of yarn. Let me see if I can show you from above, but it's a lot. It's a lot. So I have one more bag to go through. I am really trying to work through my stash this year, so buying less yarn. I did have some gift cards at the beginning of the year, and I still have, I think, like a $15 voucher and a $5 gift card that I haven't used yet. So I do want to really use up my scrap yarns. My goal for when I leave college, like finish the spring semester, is to have just like one bag of yarn. So I think I can definitely do that. I think it's doable. I have a lot of big projects coming up. I have like some baby blanket ideas and pattern ideas. So I think it's doable. I just have to stay committed to not buying more yarn. I definitely want to make, one thing I want to make, one pattern, is the bikini slipover pattern. And normally that uses DK weight yarn, but what I think I'm going to do instead is just make it oversized with a worsted weight yarn. Especially since I kind of want it to be used as like a cover-up for my swimsuit. So that's one way I plan on not buying yarn for new projects. I think the yarn that I'm specifically thinking about is in the next bag, but I want to make some ranunculus sweaters. That's a popular knitting pattern, but you can really use any weight of yarn from like, I think it's thread weight to bulky weight, and I have a lot of medium worsted weight. So I think making ranunculus sweaters and tees will be a great way to use up yarn as well. Okay, gonna get the last bag so we can go through that, and then I'll wrap up the video. Okay, I moved the camera back because this is definitely the biggest bag, but definitely gonna go through this. This is where I keep most of my yarn and more of the yarns that I'm like not immediately using for projects. So like those 2 bags, a lot of it is stuff that I'm actually using this week or like ongoing projects like the cardigan that I'm working on. But this is where I keep most of my yarn that's like kind of on the back burner. So I'm gonna actually move it even further back and then I'll get into this bag. Okay. So last bag. Oh, this is actually the pattern, the yarn, sorry, that I want to use for the ranunculus sweater. So it's just this like blue gray ombre. I think it'll be really pretty for a lightweight tee. Let's see. This is also kind of a more tangled, messy bag, just because it's not yarn that I'm using often. Have this light blue yarn. This is going to be used for a baby blanket that I'm working on for one of my mom's coworkers. More dark brown yarn. I got a lot of brown yarn for the sweater that I made in December. I don't think I have a photo of it because it's back at my home in Maryland, but I got a lot, way too much. So definitely gonna have to find a way to use all this brown yarn because I'm a more colorful person. This is more of that ombre yarn. So comment down below if you have any good ideas for what I should use the brown like yarn for, some good brown scrappy projects. So this is more Mainstays black yarn. I think I already showed a ball of that earlier. This is Karen Simply Soft in this like orange color. Then I have this, what would you call it? It's not boucle, or maybe it is boucle. It's an orangey boucle yarn. I think these look really pretty together, but I'm not sure what I would make. This may be another good ranunculus color combination, so we'll see. So there's that. What else? I have this very pretty yarn. It's very loosely spun. This is Loops and Threads Facets yarn. Let's see. This is just some random orange yarn, not sure where it's from. I have this Loops and Threads yarn. Can't remember the name of the yarn, but it's like a bamboo mix. So it's very soft. Okay, not gonna try to untangle that now. I already untangled one ball, so I've done my due diligence for today. I have more. This is Sweet Snuggles Loops and Thread yarn. This is super bulky, or no, sorry, this is jumbo. So this is that pink color. Let's see what else. This is Red Heart Bitty Stripes. This is actually one of my favorite yarns. I just love the way the stripes look, and I actually do have a pattern planned for this. I plan on making a bunch of little heart pins for this youth conference that I'm going to in the summer. Then we have, okay, this is in a bag separately because my college, they have like they call it Market Fridays, but it's like a craft fair kind of market thing, festival, whatever, every other Friday in the spring and early fall. So I make a lot of scrunchies for that. So that's what this whole bag is scrunchie prep materials. So yeah, I have this blue yarn. This blue yarn I thrifted from Goodwill, so it didn't have a label, that fuzzy blue yarn that I just showed. Then I have this spool of ribbon. This, don't know where the ribbon is from. Someone just gifted it to me. So maybe I'll have this be with the spool ribbon that I got to make something. But I do end up making that crossbody. Let's see. I have a lot of little balls here at the end. Some blue chenille yarn, some cream yarn. I'm pretty sure this is Karen 1 pound. More red yarn. I think this is Lime Brand Pound of Love. And I think that's the last ball. I'm trying to feel around. Yeah, that is the last one. So that is all my yarn. If you made it this far, drop a little yarn emoji in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I have lots of plans, and I am really trying to buy less yarn this year. My goal is to really finish up this yarn that I had in college, just so I have more space in my dorm. My dorm this year is pretty tiny and small, and I have a roommate. So I definitely want to be conscious of how much space I'm taking up, what I'm bringing in, because everything I bring in, I have to store somewhere. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole room for yarn anymore like I did at home, but I'm going to work with the space I have, use what I have. If you have any ideas for patterns that are good stash busters, I know I do want to make the Loopy Cardigan by Loopy Studios, but if you have other ideas, make sure to comment that down below as well. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you like this video. I post new videos every weekday, so I'll see you real soon. Bye!